Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Saranya, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Please don't forget to like, share and comment down below. It will help my channel to grow, and I really thank you so far for the support that you've been giving me for the videos that I've been uploading. And please, let's walk with this journey together and get to have this channel to grow to 1,000 subscribers and even to a bigger channel. So guys, in today's video I will just be showing you, or rather I'll be doing a review. As you can see, I have some books here and I'll be taking you through reviews of the books that I have read and tell you about also the books that I am reading, and also the books that are in my to read list that are among these books that I plan to read in the second quarter of the year. So guys, please sit back, watch and relax, and don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So maybe I can give a short backstory of how I started reading. My dad is what I would call an avid reader. Since I was a child, I grew up seeing my dad reading a lot, and I kept on saying, I wish I can just be half of a reader that my dad is. So it's been something that I've really been wanting to do for a long time. And I remember when I was in high school, my dad used to give me a lot of books, you know, those books of this surgeon, Think Big by Ben Carson, and you'll tell me and my brother, go read this book, and once you're done, come back, return it to me. So yeah, I would say when I was in high school, I was just a good reader of the literature books. I used to enjoy the literature. We used to have a very good teacher who will get into interpreting the literature books, and yeah, so I was never such a good reader, but it's something that I'd always wanted to do for a long time. So in the beginning of this year, I was given a certain book by someone, and it is called Sexorcised, and the author is Silas Nanchwani. I will say I got hooked by that book. The author is a very, very good story writer, and I will say I've not yet read his other books, but I know some other books that are in my to read list rather, and I really look forward to read Silas Nanchwani books. If you have not read Sexorcised, guys, I'm just going to put a photo of the book because it was a borrowed book, and now that I'm becoming a reader, I'm really understanding that you cannot afford to lend out your books. You can only recommend and or rather direct someone from where you got your books, but books are meant to be kept in your own bookshelf. As you can see right behind me, this is a bookshelf that I've been having for a while, and I plan to fill it with a lot of books. So Sexorcised was a very good book for me to read. Number one, the author is a Kenyan writer, and also the fact that there are stories that I could relate to easily. You know, Kenyan stories, what happens in day-to-day lives of Kenyans. Also, it was a book about a marriage of a guy that was wealthy but was really focused in his career, and in the midst of working so hard to provide for the family, he ended up losing his family and also divorcing the wife, and also he found out that the wife had gotten a child out of wedlock while they were still in the marriage together. So those are the things that, so in fact, that is what broke the camel's back, and they had to really he had to let it go. So, and just a story, it was, I really loved the storyline, that is what I would say, and the ending was something that I did not see it coming, and I really enjoyed Silas Nanchwani's Sexorcised. So that was one book that really got me hooked, and since that was a Kenyan author, I think it was natural for me to be influence to read more of Kenyan authors' book. And first, I would say I read these books by Joan Datia, and this is Confessions of Nairobi Men. This is the author, Joan Datia. So it's basically called, the book is called Confessions of Nairobi Men, true stories told by Datia. And I ordered this book from the author herself. You can order through our Instagram page, and she wrote a note for me where it says, Sarah, in the end, we all become stories. Joan T. So I'll just show you that. So, Confessions by Nairobi Men. Joan Datia has written other books, and this was my first that I read, and it has 15 chapters. Basically, each chapter is a story that has been told to her by men living in Nairobi. If you don't know where Nairobi is a city in Kenya, and basically, I don't know if I found it to be very interesting simply because I'm a woman and not a man, and I was now viewing the men from a different perspective, but I really enjoyed reading Confessions of Nairobi Men. And also there's Confessions of Nairobi Women. I'll be going next to that. Confessions of Nairobi Men, I will say this one really broke my heart, because it makes you understand, and these are, I might say, I think I've already said, they're true stories. So these stories by Joan Datia told to her, I wonder what she had to go through taking all that, because I can imagine all those stories told to her, she had to filter some things, and I can say those are heavy stories. I read Confessions of Nairobi Men, I think within a night or two, within 2 days, I was done with this book. So that is how interesting I found Confessions of Nairobi Men to be. So you can get yourself a copy, and trust me, if you're a new reader, if you're trying to get into the habit of reading, this will definitely get you hooked. And also, personally, if I may speak for myself, this is the first short stories book for me to read. And I would say it was easier for me to read, it was easier for me to follow up and not lose concentration. And I would say short stories is a good way of getting yourself into the habit of reading. So yeah, this is what I read in January, together with Sexorcised by Silas Nyachwani. After I was done with Confessions of Nairobi Men, it was natural for me to go for Confessions of Nairobi Women. Confessions of Nairobi Women has Volume 1 and Volume 2. So, same way I ordered the books, and she wrote in one of the Confessions of Nairobi Women, Sarah, may you find yourself in between these pages. Maybe I can show you that. Guys, Confessions of Nairobi Women, Volume 1 and 2. I will say they really broke my heart. And I saw one of Nairobi influencers saying that she felt like the books, the stories were told from a different level of women in the society, from the low income earning part of economy, which is true. I agree, because most of the stories were more of women who are in prostitution. Also, it explained why some women, the way the lives they live, it's because of what the things that happened to them back in their childhood. And I would say even in Confessions of Nairobi Men, there's a lot of childhood trauma. And being an African, being a Kenyan, trust in me, when you read these books, when you're a woman, you will definitely see yourself in these books. And if you're a man, one or two things you will see yourself in those books, in that book. Because for men, you find that they have always tried, the stories where men are trying to get when you're a young boy, they're trying to get the validation of their fathers. And also with women, it's a lot of also how the relationship between a daughter and a mother spanned out and truly influenced their adulting. So I would say Confessions of Nairobi Men, Nairobi Women, they all broke my heart. But out of the three, for me, Confessions of Nairobi Men stood out for me the most. I don't know, because I'm a woman, so the stories are more intriguing. So yeah, that's why I enjoyed Joan Thatcher's books, and I'll definitely be reading more of her books. Next, I read a friend of mine, Gadoni, you know yourself. She really highly recommended Colleen Hoover's books. She is my friend. She's a very good reader as well. And also, if I may say, the one that recommended the first book that I read for Silas Nyanchwani is also someone that I consider an avid reader. So it's always good to take notes from people who are good avid readers, because they will tell you what they liked, what they think you will like as a new reader. So yeah, this was recommended to me again by Gadoni. It is a series of 2 books. It ends with us, and also it starts with us. So when you're reading these 2 books, you start with It Ends With Us, then followed by It Starts With Us. So Colleen Hoover, she's a white woman, and this is a novel a story that she writes very good. I will tell you for sure, this was not short stories, but I really enjoyed reading It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I don't want to get much into the details of this book, because I finished this one very fast, and then I'm currently reading It Starts With Us, which is a continuation basically of It Ends With Us. So It Ends With Us is basically a couple that divorced eventually, but before the lady met the ex-husband, she was in a relationship, we'll call her first love in life. And after she met the first love of her life, eventually in life they reconnected, and now It Starts With Us is basically now after her divorce. It talks about how now she's picking up with her first love in life. They have reconnected, they have started going to dates. So I am kinda midway through. I am now currently at chapter 13, and it's up to chapter they have not listed the chapters at the beginning. But what I will say I've enjoyed about Colleen Hoover's books, I think I'm a hopeless romantic. Because even movies, when I go to Netflix movies, I really enjoy watching romantic movies. So yeah, this is a very nice book to read, a good sequence of books that will enable you to get into the habit of reading Colleen Hoover's books. The reason why I'm still reading It Starts With Us is because when I finished It Ends With Us, I first chose to break the monotony of Colleen Hoover, and I jumped into this book, The Sex Lives of African Women. Sex Lives of African Women is written by Nana Dakoa Sekiyama. The author is from West Africa, and I would say this is a book that is also short stories, but for me, I found it very difficult to finish it as much as I finished it. Some of the stories are interesting, some are not, because you find most of these, the Sex Lives of African Women, they are short stories given to the author by different women about their sex lives. So the thing that threw me off about the book was the fact that some of the women, as much as others, they are mixed race, that is white and African descent, and then others, they grew up in the West. So when they grow up in the West, you find there are a lot of their sex lives, or rather their sex patterns is more of West than in African, because when you come to Africa, you will not hear a lot of same-sex, or rather same-gender relationships, and that has really come out in these books. In this book, I'm not saying it is something that is not happening in Africa, but it is not something that you'll hear it being said out loudly. But anyway, it was an interesting book. It helped me to, to gather different things about different women who are of African descent across the world. So this is a book that I really struggled to read, as much as some people that had recommended it to me had told me that I'll enjoy reading it and all that. Trust me, I did not really enjoy Sex Lives of African Women. Oh, so what I will have said about the books that I've read, to begin with, Sexorcised by Silas Nyachwani, I will rate it an 8 out of 10, simply because the storyline was amazing, but the suspense, I did not see it coming, but the writer is good. So author Silas Nyachwani, good job on Sexorcised. Confessions of Nairobi Men, this one I will rate it also an 8 out of 10. The stories are really interesting. They really make you feel like you're the one who is being told the story. The writer, the author, has really presented the stories well. I hope the men that read their stories, they felt like their stories were told as they were written as they told them to the author. So I'll definitely rate it an 8 out of 10. For Confessions of Nairobi Women, for me, the feeling was kind of the same, because volume 2 is basically a continuation of volume 1. So I didn't feel the stories as much, but since the writing style is really good, I will have rate the two books 7 out of 10. It ends with us. For me, this is a 9 over 10, because the storytelling has really been done very well. Until I finish It Starts With Us, then maybe I will know how I will rate it. So for now, I will not be able to rate It Starts With Us. Finally, this book one, The Sex Lives of African Women, for me, this is a 5 out of. I know I had even said I'd rate it below 5 before, but since the moment I was rating it below 5, I had not finished the book, but there are some part of the book that is interesting, so I will give it a 5 out of 10. Okay, now I will move to the books that I'm reading. One of the books that I'm still reading, I've said It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover, and now also The Surrounded by Idiots. This is a book that I've had for a long time. Surrounded by Idiots is a motivational book, and this is a very, very good book that it will help you to understand people around you. Not sometimes, we all have different personalities, and the way you will view your perspective on things is not the same way another person will view them. So Surrounded by Idiots, the beauty about it helps you to understand other people and be able to tolerate their behaviors, and to be able to live with them. So for me, Surrounded by Idiots, I'll not lie, this book has been difficult for me to finish. I am halfway through. It is something I hope I will be able to finish probably next month. That is the goal. But Surrounded by Idiots, it's more of a motivational book. My friend Gadoni tells me, read it in the morning. When your mind is very fresh, when you're woken up early, take the book and read a few chapters. It will help you to finish it quickly. So, still reading it. So I will not rate it. Another book that I was recommended for by Colleen Hoover is Ugly Love. Ugly Love. I had started reading it, if I'm not wrong, yes. I'd read 14 pages in, and then I said, let me first finish the sequence books. It starts with that. So Ugly Love, I am told it's very interesting. So looking forward to read this by end of April 2024, and I'll be coming back with a review of what I think about this book. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. So this one was recommended to me by the same person that recommended to me the first book that I read in the year's exercise by Silas Nyanchwani. I am told it's a good book. I think it's a kind of a motivational book, or rather, yeah, a book that actually you can get lessons from, because they say timeless lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness. So being someone who has worked in the finance industry for the last 10 years, I thought this would be an interesting book for me to read. I have not touched it yet, but I look forward to reading it in the month of April, and I'll definitely be coming back to you with a review once I will be done. Last but not least, The 48 Laws of Power. I have always wanted to read this book. You know, the way we like to quote law number one, law, things like that. You know, law number one, never outshine the master. I think 48 Laws of Power, the author is Robert Greene. This is a book that I think will really help me, and definitely it's a motivational book as much as it looks like a novel. This one, I have not touched it, and I think it's time I start reading it, because it has in fact it has around 605 pages. So I think it will be in my best interest to start ensuring I read even at least 100 pages in a week, so that I can be able to finish in like 6 weeks or so. So 48 Laws of Power. I simply bought this book because in my job I am in management, and also I think 48 Laws of Power will help you a lot in this world to be able to know how to deal with different situations in life. So guys, that is it. I just wanted to basically give a review of the books that I've been reading. So let me know, which of these books have you read? Which of these books do you think I will have rated them better? And also, which are the books that you're currently reading, and what can you recommend to me? Please don't forget to like my videos. It will really help my channel to grow. And if you're watching and you're not subscribing, I can see you. Please subscribe. Subscribing is free. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will definitely continue to be consistent with more videos, more content, and just be able to do more and more different things as time goes by. So far so good. I'm happy with what I'm doing with the consistency, and I look forward to shoot more. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for those that are engaging me in the comment section, and until next time, bye bye. God bless you.